Hello, my name is Marcelo Souza, and this is a little breakdown on how to do something like this just using Substance Designer. So now we are here inside Substance Designer, and let me show you some steps to achieve this. So as you can see, the model is already done. Just made it by textures. First thing you wanna to do is to drop like a texture, a reference texture here. So I already have my GameBoy Cartridge right here as a reference, and then you can leave it like faded, like something like this. And I started using like a shape, just like a white box, scale it down just a little bit so I can have some space around it. Created another box and move it to the side to cut the corner. I have this as a result. As you can see, I'm covering this corner right here. So next step was to cut the sides using the blend crop options, blurring a little bit because those corners are like very sharp and I want like round corners around here. So to do this, I just blur the shape a little bit and apply levels. So I have the round corners and I have some control over it. Next step was creating those gaps here, matching the ones on the box. But to do this, I started using stripes, right? So I roughly match it with the stripes that we have here. Then I apply the transform to make a better match. Crop it. So I have this as a result. And then I expanded it a little bit and used the shape that I did before, this shape, like a boolean, to cut this and have this as a result because I want those little box to cut. So I have these little cuts on the sides, right? So this is one of the results that I already have at this point. This is the second one. I have the overall shape. I have the little cuts to go here, and then I have this result. As you can see, it's matching pretty good. What's next? Let's do this triangle, the label later, but now let's work with this triangle here. So I started with a simple square. I rotate it by 45 degrees. I cut it in the middle using the blend crop. Same as before, blur levels, and then I transform it back to put it into position, like right over this thing here. So it's a match, not perfect match, so I could like make it better, but it's good enough for now. So now I'm working just on the major cuts. So to have like everything pretty simple and easy to manage. To do the label, I got the same white shape, scale it down, as you can see here, and did the same trick as before. Again, blur, levels, and then another transform to make it fit over the label. So now I have the label, I have the outer shape, the silhouette, I have the little triangle, right? So what else I need to do? I need to do this capsulate shape. So we have the capsule shape in Substance Designer. Move it with the transform into position. Apply levels to it so I can have like a harder edge, and that is it. It's done. So combining this and this and this, oh, not this, not right now. Yeah, so combining those guys, I have this shape here, this resulting shape, right? So I have the capsule, the stripes, the label, the triangle, the border, everything combined ends up with this, and this. Then to do those cuts at the sides, like those chamfers, those are like 45-degree chamfers. I use this, just a linear gradient, scale it down into position. It's not matching perfectly, so now it's matching. As you can see, everything is procedural, so I can't change it in real time. So now it's matching better. Okay, so as this is a gradient, I applied over it using subtraction. It worked like a boolean, subtracting everything that it's white, subtract more, and that goes like in a ramp up to the black color. So I applied a mirror, so I have it on both sides, right? And then I have this. So it's like almost done. So what I need now is that depression here, but it's like something, it's like a rounded depression. So the same capsule shape I used at the start here, it already has this depression, this gradient that I need to do the depression. So I saved this shape and masked the gradient inside it using subtraction. So as you can see, everything that it's brighter, it's higher on the displacement. Everything that it's dark, it's lower. So you can see a gradient, a smooth gradient doing that curve all around. So I have pretty close with what we have on the real cartridge, right? It's almost done, right? So I have to overlay the label. Where's the label? Where's the label? Oh yeah, so about the Nintendo Game Boy, this is a mask that I did in Photoshop. I didn't want to draw every letter in Substance, so I did in Photoshop using this same reference, saved as a square JPEG, black and white image. As you can see here, somewhere. Don't believe it's lost, but it's somewhere here. Yeah, that's here. That's just a bitmap input. So I apply levels to control this height so it doesn't go all the way up, and apply it over everything, over my result. So next thing was to do like this texture, this grainy rough texture. I have just used a noise, scale it down to have more density, and then I applied like a anti-alias filter to blur it just a little bit. And I applied this using this as a mask over everything. But as you can see, I can everything that it's black, it's not receiving this grainy texture. So I can control where the grainy texture is applied using this mask on a blend node. What else? And here's the label. That's the label, right? My shape that I saved before. I just applied it over everything, controlled the height of it using our levels. And this is matching with the texture, the original texture, right? So I have the texture here as a bitmap. This is my bitmap. As you can see here, this is the label mask. And this mask is blending with this simple color, like a base color, blending this with the mask, and then I have the diffuse color, the overall diffuse color to start. Over this, I use this mask to have everything that it's at the top a little bit lighter. And then I created, I got the curvature, I extracted the curvature from the height. This is my height map. From the height map, I can extract the normal map. And from the normal map, I can extract the curvature map. That's beautiful. That's my favorite map, the curvature. So cool. And as you can see, all the edges, they look lighter, so I can use for a lot of shading stuff. So I extracted this curvature and overlaid over the color, so I can have the color just a little bit brighter on the edge, simulating the subsurface of a plastic. And then I added like layers of dirt, like this, just like very subtle dirt spots. Another dirt layer that goes here. And everything together looks like this. This is my diffuse map, my resulting diffuse map, but it's all procedural except by this texture here. And I can like bump the output resolution up to 8K. I have the normal maps. I have metalness. I have ambient occlusion. And I have displacement. That's the most important thing. And as I have the silhouette of this, I extracted the opacity map, which is here. That's my opacity map, not this. Yeah, this is my opacity map. So using the opacity map, I can, as you can see here, it's applied to a plane. And then I can cut those extra areas using the opacity map, right, like this. And that's it. That's half of the cartridge, right? So I can do the other half as another texture. And my final model would be just like two planes. So I can have the top and bottom parts. And that's it. I hope you liked that video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more things like this, more videos like this explaining how I did something. And I see you in the next one. Bye bye.